In Luke 10, Jesus sends out 72 disciples into the world to preach the good news to people around them. This is a really profound statement when you read it in context. If you read it quickly, you can miss what's being said, but if you read it in context, especially with Luke chapter 9 in mind, it's saying something really, really powerful about Jesus' love for the world and also the nature of Jesus' kingdom. So in the previous chapter, Luke 9, Jesus had already sent out the 12 disciples. And when he's calling up these 12 disciples, that number is important. The number 12 always represents Israel. So when Jesus raises up 12 disciples, it's a way of Luke saying, here is the new Israel. Jesus is raising up a new Israel. And then in Luke 10, when Jesus sends out 72, it's likely hearkening back to a Jewish tradition, drawing from Genesis where the descendants of Noah are named. There are 72 descendants of Noah who are named, and they represent the nations of the world. So what that means is that in Luke 9, Jesus is raising up 12 disciples who are a new Israel. And then in Luke 10, Jesus is raising up 72 disciples who will go out and reach the nations. Jesus is going to send his people out into the world and reach the nations. This new Israel is also going to be a people who reach all nations, and this is such good news. But it isn't just a message about evangelism. It's not just a message that Jesus is going to send these people into the world and evangelize people. Through their work and through their ministry, the full riches of Jesus' kingdom and the full riches of Jesus' lordship are going to be on display. These are people who are going to be used to work miracles, and every single healing that God performs through them would just be a foretaste of eternal life, resurrection life that Jesus promises to his believers. Every time they work a miracle, it's a foreshadowing of the new heavens and the new earth that Jesus is bringing. Each time they preach a message of forgiveness. That message points back to Jesus' death on the cross, but then points forward to the eternal life that we have because Jesus has washed us and forgiven us. And it points forward to an eternal life where we will be free from the impact of sin in our own lives forever. This is such good news. And then as the gospel goes out and there's reconciliation with people from different ethnicities and backgrounds and from different nations, and they experience joy and unity around the gospel together, it's just a foretaste of the new heavens and the new earth when people from every tribe will gather around the throne of Jesus and worship together in love and unity. The full riches of Jesus' lordship and his kingdom are on display to all the nations of the earth as Jesus sends out not only the 12, but also the 72. Lent is a time of sober reflection when we can remember not only the pain of the world and the brokenness of the world, but we can also confess our own sin and our own brokenness. Lent is also a time of hope. As we inch closer to Easter, each day we get closer to Good Friday, and then especially Easter morning, we have this joy that is growing as we remember the good things that Jesus has brought through his death and his resurrection, and we take joy in that. But through Lent, we also want to ask God, what is the goodness you want to work through me? Whether that's bringing his goodness through us to the people in our own household, the people we work with, the people in our neighborhood, but also to the peoples of the world.